When Taiwan chooses a new president on Saturday, the repercussions will reach far beyond this island of 23 million people. Opposition leader Tsai Ing-wen is widely expected to defeat rival Eric Chu from the ruling Kuomintang or Nationalist Party. That would make her the first woman to be elected as leader of an Asian nation without the benefit of family connections or money. Her victory would also have more immediate political consequences, given Taiwan's ambiguous status. The island has its own democratic government, but China still claims it as a breakaway province. Most countries, including the United States, do not recognize it officially for fear of upsetting an ever more powerful Beijing. Tsai is riding high in the polls because of dissatisfaction with the governing party and its efforts to pursue closer economic and political ties with China. If she wins, Beijing will not be pleased, given its hostility towards her independence-leaning Democratic Progressive Party. Any increase in cross-strait tensions would also worry Taiwan's allies, like the US and Japan. So Tsai has been at pains to insist she will maintain the status quo and keep the radicals in her party at bay.
我会根据中华民国现行的宪政体制，基于民主的原则，在最大的民意基础上来推动两岸的政策。我会尽最大的努力来寻求台湾与中国大陆之间有一个彼此都能接受的互动之道。我不会挑衅，也不会有意外。
The bigger problem for Beijing is that public opinion in Taiwan is not moving in its favor. Surveys show that more and more people on the island see themselves as Taiwanese rather than Chinese. Even among those who rely on China for their livelihoods, many feel that Beijing does not accord them the respect they deserve. That includes Liu Shuzhen, who runs a health food store targeted at Chinese tourists on Kinmen Island, just a couple of miles from the mainland city of Xiamen.
If our customers, they have time, they want to sit down and they want to talk about the topic, I will talk with them and I will tell them the reality. We have our own nation and we have our law and we have the president. We do everything as a normal democracy. We didn't pay tax to mainland China. They don't send any officer here to Taiwan, and they told me Taiwan is there. For me, is nonsense.
The deputy minister in charge of negotiations with China says that Beijing has alienated many young people by blocking Taiwan's access to international organizations such as the UN.
Taiwan is a very open society. We have a lot of chance to go abroad. Taiwanese people really want to participate more on international activities. For example, go to the United Nations or go to WTO and so on and so on. However, mainland is kind of a big obstacle for Taiwan. So lots of young people are not very happy. They become more and more pursuing for Taiwan independence.
Despite the growing hostility to China, the vast majority of Taiwanese still support the status quo for fear that a formal declaration of independence may push Beijing to invade. There is little room for maneuver. Whoever wins on Saturday will find it difficult to navigate the treacherous straits in which Taiwan finds itself. Ben Bland, Financial Times, Taipei.
Taiwanese presidential frontrunner Tsai Ing-wen on the campaign trail. Voters here go to the polls Saturday with the economy and China top in many people's minds.
I hope the economy can improve, that people's livelihoods and real estate prices become more stable, so we can buy property again.
Ma Ying-jeou is no good because he gets close to China and sells out Taiwan. There is one China and one Taiwan. That's best.
Polls suggest that Tsai's Democratic Progressive Party will win, unseating the outgoing president Ma Ying-jeou's nationalist Kuomintang. Her party stands for Taiwanese independence, but earlier this month she looked to calm fears that the DPP would row back on closer links with Beijing established by the Kuomintang.
发生了我们从来没有排除中国经济在台湾的经济。
We have never denied the role the Chinese economy plays in Taiwan's economic development, but we need to be comprehensively linked to the major global economies, not just solely tied to China.
而不是单单的把我们自己跟中国绑在一起。
The nationalists, however, are in favour of a strong relationship with their giant neighbour.
China is not our only option, but we should not oppose everything China-related.
Shrinking exports, low salaries, rising housing costs and an ageing population are all problems both sides are trying to address. Meanwhile, China still views the island as part of its territory to be reunited by whatever means.
They hope to use trade and other economic inducements to persuade Taiwan first to integrate economically with the mainland, and then subsequently to begin political talks for eventual reunification.
History was made last November when Chinese President Xi Jinping met his Taiwanese counterpart in Singapore, the first such encounter since Taiwan split from the mainland in 1949. And this weekend, people here will choose a new leader and perhaps a new course in relations with China.